प्रेम सुराज शक्ति दुर्गा माता की, शिव शंकर भगवान की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की, जय जय सीताराम। At this moment, I ask you to sit upright as you join together in prayers to the divine. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswate Namaha. Om Shri Guru Charana Kamalabhyo Namaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahi Sugandhim पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव बन्धनम् मृत्योर्मोक्ष्यमामृतात् कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारम् संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारम् सदा वसन्तं निर्दयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात्। Join together. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shaktirupena Samshrita Namastasye 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 Namo Namo Namastasye 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 Namo Namo. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Respected Pandit, devotees from various Mandir, devotees of this beautiful Mandir, Whim roadside, and for all those who are viewing us online, I must say my humble salutation, namaskar, pranam and sitaram to each and every one of you. Swagatam, welcome on behalf of the devotees of this Mandir, in joining on our 8th night, our 8th session of Gyaan Satsangh. As we are about to listen to Katha, for many years we have listened to various texts. And before I mention the text that we are about to listen to, have you changed your life? For those of you who are following us and coming here to this Mandir, have you changed your life? But if you don't yet, my friends, it's about time to put our scripture into practice. Tonight, Katha, I will not take you to a far place, but which is very close to our heart. A Katha which can bring us success or bring the opposite of success. A Katha which can build us in life or can break us in life. But my friends, the teachings tonight is about how can we attain Bhagwan. And if I should ask the question, how can we attain Bhagwan, it will be the answer. Any one of you? Do you think only by getting up in the morning and offer prayers, it means that you have God by your side or with you? Do you think by attending Mandir, Satsangh, Yajna, Puja, you have Bhagwan by the side of you? My friends, it determines what you have in your mind. So tonight I ask of you, as we are about to focus your mind, and there's this puja called Manas Puja. Your mind have that divine Shakti within, and listen this Katha with conviction, and definitely you'll become a changed person. Loving devotees, the Katha which I will bring to you, especially made, coming from the Shiv Mahapuran. I'll ask the question, did I ever read Shiv Mahapuran this Mandir before? I can't remember because I'm getting old. Anybody can refresh my memory? Any Katha has been done in this Mandir from Shiv Mahapuran? Remember we did Ganesh Puran, the Bhagavad Mahapuran. But I came many times and we listened to Katha from the Bhagavad Mahapuran. I don't think I ever done any Ramayana or Gita in this Mandir yet. But if I do, my friends, this is another opportunity as we're about to listen. Tonight Katha is about how Nandi attained Bhagwan Shiva. Before I take you for that, we join us to sing glories to the divine. Gangadadhar Gauri Shankar Girjaman Ramana Jaya Mahadeva Maheshwar Mangal Shubha Karna Shila. He was a devotee who dedicated his life towards his religion and did not have a family. Is there anyone in this Mandir tonight have the intention when they grow up? I will rephrase the question, sorry. Is there any children, kids in this Mandir tonight, have the intention when he or she grow up, they will not get married? Any? He was living his life alone, dedicated to his religion. And talking about religion, people will give their life when it comes to our Sanatan Dharma. And some people will care less or care nothing. Lovely devotees, Gyaan decided to have a son who will be free from the cycle of birth and death. Of any parents have the intention or have in their mind, or go to Bhagavan, say, Hey Prabhu, Hey Devi, bless me with the child. That child will live forever. Have you ever get that thought in your mind? Why? Because we all know once we born, we must die. Lovely devotees, is there any one of you want to live forever tonight? Why you guys not talking to each other? Is there anybody want to live forever? My friends, many people will have the intention in their mind. Although we know that when we come into this world, we must die. There are some people who do not prepare for death or pay attention to death. But there are some people, their mind, my friends, living their life, they will think they will live forever. Do you know of anyone? The Bible tells us, desire of having a child. He did something, my friends. Listen. Nirupama guna sarana charana niraja jalanayana सबसे शक्तिशाली भगवान से प्रार्थना करते जाते हैं। Srilan was praying to Lord Indradev, the king of Swargaloka. He was praying to Lord Indra for a child. Is there any deity or devata other than Lord Indra can bless us with children? I mentioned it when I was here last year. May 1, I'll give you a hint. Every devata and deities will bless us with different things, my friends. So he chose to perform penance, our prayers to Lord Indradev. Lord Indra was pleased with his penance and appeared before him. Upon knowing his wish, Indradev suggests that he should pray to the most powerful God. You know, there are some people in society, they can help you, but they cannot help you with every and anything. Do you know? It's just like the heavenly region, my friends. There is God can help you and bless you with certain things, and some is more powerful. In your mind, I mentioned earlier, Manas Puja. Who you have in your mind right now? I don't know if you like to lie. Or what you have in your mind right now. The greatest God. Who is the greatest God? My friends, the Kata tells us to sing. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Tan man ki sura bisagale. Who is the greatest God? In the Kata tonight, it says, Indradev suggested that he should pray to Bhagwan Shiva. Loving devotees who have the power over death, Taryambakam Yajamani Mrityunjaya mantra. It says he has control over death because he was blessed, was asking to be blessed with a son that will live forever. That is his purpose of penance and prayers. So now you know, if you want to live long, who you must pray to. Right? I think we should conclude the Katha now. The most important point in the Katha tonight, because nobody wants to leave this world. When COVID came, what happened? What you never do in your life, you'll do just to have an opportunity to live. When someone tells you, you have to wash your hands before you eat, you look at them, I don't really wash my hand, I eat this spoon. Right? And all the COVID time, you're still eating with the same spoon, but yet you still wash your hand. And they tell you or told you how long? For how long? They give you a recommended time for at least 20 Second, loving devotees, how long should you pray for to get what you want? I will give thought to that. Taking the suggestion of Lord Indradev, Srila began severe penance to Bhagavan Shankar. Praying to Bhagavan Shankar not only for an hour, 3 hours that the puja or the satsang lasts for, but for a long time. Loving devotees, how long? For many years. Listen to what takes place, the Katha tells us. Ajira Amar Shiva Shankar Baba Bholenath ki jai ho. It says, my friends, Srila was unable to please Lord Shiva. And he still continued to pray and pray with determination, shraddha, faith, and eventually now, Bhagavan Shankar was pleased with his penance and granted him his wish. Lord Shiva promised that he himself will born as his son. Remember, he was praying for a son that will live forever. Bhagavan Shankar says, I myself will born as your son. Loving devotees, Lord Shiva presented him in a form of a child who was later named Nandi. Do you know who is Nandi? Were you looking at me like first time you hear about Nandi? Thank God for Gyaan Satsangh. All those of you who heard or know about Nandi, raise your hand. My friends, after Srila was blessed with Nandi, he took great care of his child because his intention is to make sure nothing wrong with his child. When a child born into this world, how the mother supposed to take care of the child? Can anybody help me? I'm not a mother, I don't know. I need help from some mother. Is there any young woman want to marry badly here in Mandir tonight? Well, I'll tell you something. If you don't know how to take care of the child, I think you should sit with your mother or a mother that blessed the child to teach you how to take proper care of a child. Nowadays, we're living in a day and age where children will make picnic and grandparents will mind them. How much of you agree with me? Nobody, right? Oh, Daddy. Very good, Daddy. Let me give you a cup. I will ask them to cup for you. Everything that we do in our life there must be some sort of knowledge, understanding. Because it's useless to bring forth certain things and you cannot take care of them. There are many people who sit to do puja and they don't do the puja because somebody tell them that they have to do it. Do you know or you don't know? Whenever we sit to do puja or prayers, we must know the purpose of our puja and prayers. If I should ask you what age a child should begin learning, what would be the answer? I asked the question last night and I get the number. How much? 5, 6. Anybody else? And if you don't know, my friends, a child begins learning from the womb of the mother. When the child born into this world, and that child starts to behave a little different, that you want to teach the child what you are doing. You want to teach the child to be proper, and you as a mother is not proper. You blame somebody else because that child is going in the wrong direction. So my friends, young women, children, that have the intention when you grow up, they want to get married. You must always remember, bring forth the child into this world. Learning will begin in the womb of the mother. And at the age, like Mataji said, 5 or 7, 5 or 6. Somebody mentioned 7 last night. And in our Katha, it says, at the age of 6, he was well versed of all the sacred scripture, because while he was in the womb, was learning, my friends. So there is no appropriate age that the child should start school, but learning begins from the womb of the mother. However, one day, Varun Devata and Mridra visit Nandi to bless him. It's just like when a child born, people has blessed them with what? Anybody? When a child born, you're seeing the child for the first time, especially family. How do you bless the child? Is there anybody shaking their hand who was in the nowadays? I think I'm shaking. You know, long time they take the dollar, and they go wrong the baby and they put it down, before they see that child. They carry something with them for that child. The grandparents will make bangle, or there's a tradition where children will pass from one generation to another, will be presented to that child, my friends. It says now these 2 devatas went to visit Nandi, this child. And what is the purpose? Is to give their blessings. But they seem to be a little dissatisfied. Why they were dissatisfied? The Kata tells us, listen. Matanga Harena Ananda Sarvena Mahadeva Shiva Shambho Nandana Maya Vinashaka Mushkila Bhavana Maya Vinashaka Mushkila Bhavana Matanga Bharana Ananda Bharana Bhagavan Aurudha Nekataya Nandi Haat Bachake Aapke Vichit Mahi Rahi Vyasamavaraya Ho Pachaya Hu Aur Unhoniya Bhagavani Ko Bataye Mahadeva Shiva Shambho Nandana It says, Lord Vishnu, Lord Varuna, or Rudra, revealed that Nandi would not live beyond the age of 8 years old. They noticed that. How old was he? He is 7 years old. So he only has how long to live? 1 year more. You know, I don't know if many people know what I'll tell you now. I just perform readings to people as well. And if I should find somebody tonight and tell you, you only have not 1 year, but you only have 7 days to live, what would you do? Well, I will help you. Here's some they will say to themselves that, you know what, I live life and I know that I only have 7 days. I'll make sure I get up early and enjoy my 7 days. For some people who like their belly, they will eat everything they like. For some people who like dress up, they will 10 outfits a day. For some people who have certain things to accomplish, they'll make sure to do it and enjoy life. And in the other hand, there are some people, immediately they will renounce everything and they will begin to do what will help their soul to have a better place. I'll ask you the question now. I will not find people who will live for 7 days. But let's assume now, someone has only 7 days to live. What would you recommend to them to do for 7 days? What? But you know, there's some people that's praying and come to me and say, Pandit, I'm praying so hard, but God is not answering my prayer. It is to do a little more than prayer. Sacrifice in the form of yajna. Listen to kathas from different Puranas. That's why when there's a wake-up, it's recommended every night from the time of the funeral to have reading. Not singing, reading. Do you know or you don't know? So if you don't have the reading, then yes, it's okay to have the singing. But katha comes first. Where, when you die, the soul will only attain moksha by listening to the Garuda Puran, not Bhagavad Gita alone, the Garuda Puran. And while alive now, you have different Puranas. Tonight, what book you're listening? Shiva Puran. We have Devi Bhagavad Mahapuran. Devi Bhagavad Mahapuran. We have so many texts that we can listen to, my friends. We have the Agni Puran, Padma Puran, you name them. So now for 7 days and 7 nights, but it's 7 days and 7 nights, I'll have to sit down and listen to Katha. That leads us to our mind, where we have 7 days and 7 nights of yajna. Many of the nights we heard about Satsangh Krishna. Satsangh yajna, which is important. It says, people will do this who did not have the opportunity to be in Satsangh, they found will do it. And you will have the bamboo there. It says, by the pain in our scripture, that soul will be trapped into the bamboo of the tallest flag raised around the baby. And how that Atma is listening to Katha for night after night, it starts to rise from one joint to another, and then eventually start to travel the journey, my friends. So what if you live a life, not have the opportunity, or have the opportunity, but don't choose to listen to something from our scripture which will make us better in our next journey? What will become of that person? one night I mentioned at Edinburgh, when you're going home that night, in a split second, you will have a feeling. It says, my friends, maybe you can create that feeling for others if you don't have a place to go. Lovely devotees and friends, it says now we notice that this child, because they hold the hands of that child, and they notice he will only live up to 8 years old. Hearing this, Srila was shocked and shared it with Nandi. You know, there are some people when they have certain sickness, they hide it from them, they don't tell them. But tonight, Papa says that this father was shocked and shared the news with his son. Nandi could not bear to see his father in distress. Nandi cared less about himself now, my friends, but look at the appearance of his father. He started to breathe from within. And when you breathe from within, it will show from outside as well. Bhagwan is like that. What you have inside, he will see from outside. No matter how you hide it, my friends. No matter how you cover yourself, God knows everything that you have in your mind. Nandi decided now, for the sake of his father, happiness, to pray to Bhagwan Shiva, the Lord who controls death. It says now, who was pleased with his devotion and grant him immortality. An immortal status by being half man and half cow or bull. So now, very importantly, the Katha. There's some people when you fast, especially for 9 months or Ratri, sometimes people ask you where you will get strength to do things. Have you ever given thought what they call eat? Huh? What do you feed the cows? Cows are a vegetarian. What the elephant eat? Have you given thought to that? They live on plants. Loving devotees and friends, now to have eternal life, it says, Bhagwan Shankar blessing to be half human and half of a cow or bull. He was appointed as the leader of his follower, Bhagwan follower. It says his devotees, loving devotees and friends, who known as the Shiva Ganas. When people have position, how do they treat you? I'll ask a question once more. But before I ask, is there anybody who have position here in Mandir tonight? Nobody have position? I know you have position, they don't want to say yes. My question, when you have position, how do you treat people? Remember, Nandi now has a position to lead Lord Shiva's devotees. Srila and Nandi went to live in the abode of where? What the Katha listening. Ma Parvati Ma Mangal hai Nandi vinni kar tera Ma Parvati Ma Mangal hai Nandi vinni kar tera Gaya Shukla kar man ko Shiv ji kar bhasera Jai Umamishwar Jai Rameshwar Nandi and his father went to live with Bhagwan Shankar or Parvati Mata. Where did they reside? It says in Kailash. Nandi became Lord Shiva Vahan or Vahana, the vehicle of Bhagwan Shankar. Nandi being a great devotee of Lord Shiva, like his father, the Lord gave him a necklace with a, can anybody give a guess? A necklace with a, yeah, give or Mataji Chandra, big round. Very good. To identify you as a Hindu, how do other people know you're a Hindu if you should wear a necklace? Oh, you know, we're like this now. If you should wear a necklace and you want people to know you're Hindu, what symbol will be on the necklace? Anybody you see with an old necklace, you don't need to tell them you are a Hindu. It says, my friends, that necklace identifies you and I. It says, now Nandi has been giving a necklace with a bell, which he always has on his neck. Hear this question. Anyone ever give you a gift and you did not use it? You put it aside? Have you ever received a gift and you did not use it? You think that gift is useless and you put it aside? Don't shake your head like this. There are many times people give you something, and if you don't like it, if you don't like how it looks, you put it aside or maybe you give somebody else. Now many people will keep gifts that mean a lot to someone else, my friends, not many people. And that's why I take you back from the beginning of time, there was a tradition where parents and grandparents will make a piece of jewelry and they will pass that from generation to another generation. What is the name of that jewelry? Mataji Rama. What do you call that jewelry? Any young people know? I mean, there are a lot of young people like me who are old time storyteller. I don't bypass you tonight. Old time they have some. By showing power. And the necklace is called. What is it? Give her a big round of applause. You want to say it longer from here? Yeah, a big round of applause. Now the young generation now, when they go to the gold pit, they will not order a necklace with an O. But now I see in Gyaan there's something in style. They can't buy the car, but behind they say sign of the car on the neck. It is shaped like a star. Aha, not a full star. Do you know what I'm talking about? You don't know? Well, that is your research. They go to the goldsmith. They are Hindus, they are not ordering jewelry with an Om pendant, but something wrong just like an Om, and inside the Om, they desire to buy a fancy car. And when they are rich, they make the sign on the neck, they become the car. So every time you see someone walk with a big necklace with a sign, ask them for a ride. My friends, jewelry plays a great role in our life. Viva Sanskar, the wife will wear a Mangal Sutra on her neck. It's for a purpose. When you wear a mango, when you wear certain things, earrings, everything has a purpose. But now, jewelry becomes style. But I'll tell you, it is not style. It is for a purpose. Tonight it says that necklace has been given to Nandi, the bell. And Nandi now, since then, he will always have that present on his neck until this day and age of Kali. According to the Katha, every Shiva Mandir should have a Nandi. So I'll ask a question here tonight. And all the Mandirs here tonight, is your Shiva Mandir have a Nandi inside? No? We have people Shiva Mandir, Shivala. I'm not talking about other people Mandir. Is your Mandir have a Nandi inside? Mataji Puja, baby, your Mandir have a Nandi? Anybody from anyone here? You need that Mandir, you have one. It's no wrong or right, nobody's perfect. We're here to change your life. The Shiv Mahapuran says now, it is a must to have Nandi in your Shiva Mandir. Why? It says, where should be placed Nandi? In front of Bhagwan Shiva. When we do puja, the Bela Patra, the leaf has a way to put on the lingam. How do you put it? Before I tell you. How you just put it then? Upside down and the stem face where? The stem face, the stem in the bottom part. Where face? Towards you. It says now, in front of Bhagwan Shankar, facing him. So now, it says, by giving dakshina, do you know what's dakshina? Giving offerings to Nandi, it creates the image of Lord Shiva in your heart. You know, there are some people who pray and then they get God in there. It says now, by making offerings, money, gift, prasadam to Nandi, it creates an image of Bhagwan Shankar within that individual heart. Without having the image of Nandi, having the blessings of Nandi, my friends, are having this image in your heart, one cannot attain Lord Shiva's blessings. So now you understand and know why we should have Nandi in our Shiva Mandir. Do you understand or not? We gotta continue listening. Gauri Shiva Shankara Shiva Shambhu Mahadeva Shambhu Mahadeva says one day, Goddess Parvati and Lord Shiva were playing a game. What kind of game? Can anybody give a guess? Before I tell you the Gatha, when last you play a game? Pandit, I just play games with people, you know. I play with their mind. I play with their faith. I play with their temptation. I play with their emotion. I play with their feeling. When last you play a game, there's some people on the board, they pick up your phone and they play games. So the Katha says tonight, Parvati Devi, Bhagwan Shankar, they were playing a game in front of Nandi. What kind of game? You don't know, right? I'm here to tell you, don't hurt yourself. They were playing the game of dice. Do you know what's dice? And you spin it. And what happened, my friends? Nandi pronounced that Lord Shiva had won, although Goddess Parvati was the winner all the time. Do you know there's some people like that? No matter how wrong that person is, they will always pick up for their side. Have you ever think how that other side will feel when they are right, they are the winner, and somebody, not only one, two person now challenge that one person that they are a loser, which the actual truth, she is a winner. How would that feel? There are many times we are in that position, my friends. It says now, Parvati Devi observed this situation and she get very angry and cursed Nandi. Nandi now inquired, what can he do to undo the curse? I love it, you and friends. Devi Parvati says that the only way you can free from the curse is to pay reverence to. Can somebody give a yes? Arvind says, Mahadev, you're close but not close enough. My friends, earlier we got that every devatas and devis have their own purpose. Now you will understand why she directed him to this specific devata. Who is that person? The Katha tells us tonight. Listening. Vande Ganapati Vena Vinashana He Nambudhare Gajanana. He says, Devimata, the only way to free or undo the curse that I have imposed to you is by praying to the Lord, Ganesha, by offering your mind and devotion to Lord Ganesha and his favor, his favorite hope to offer my friends. Anybody remember? But I'll tell you in a little bit. Let's sing the song. Vande Ganapati The Devi instructed him, Nandi, that when you perform prayers or puja to the Lord Ganesha, who is the son of Parvati Devi, you must offer his favorite bhog. Lambudhana, the one with the big stomach. What is his favorite bhog? It says, my friends, laddu. On a special time, not every and any time. When is that time? It says on his Janam Day, his birthday. How much people has buy gift and give people for their birthday? Raise your hand. Very good. You're buying gift and give there for the birthday. But what will be the most appropriate gift to give someone for their birthday, or the best gift to give someone on your birthday? Well, this will not take you to the store. This will save you some money not to buy a rock and wrap it up or newspaper. This will save you not to bust your head and think what this person will like. One of the greatest gifts to give someone for their birthday is to call them and wish them a happy birthday. It says, give them happiness. Since Gyaan Satsangh originated in 2022, something we have kept as a tradition. And for everyone's birthday, I mean not everyone, I wish I could have a picture with everyone. But for those who I have a picture with, I try my best to make sure known that today we are celebrating someone's birthday. And look at this. Who would not be happy? Not only one phone call. People from all parts of the world who don't know you or know you, they wish you a happy birthday. Bhagwan's blessings, God's blessings. How would that person feel on your birthday? That is the greatest gift when someone can remind you or remember you on your birthday. You know, some people forget when their birthday. People like me, I just forget when my birthday comes. My friends, Ganesha's favorite home, it says, is laddu. Nandi followed the instruction and worship Lord Ganesha. He offered not his favorite prasadam or bhog alone, but he offers something else to satisfy Nandi, satisfy Ganesha when you consume that bhog. I'll take you back to Shiva Mandir, a name called earlier in this Mandir. Remember 2023, the cut of the Ganesh Puram. When we make offering of prasadam to Lord Ganapati, what should be offered to him to make him pleased? What is it? Why is it Tulasi? Well, he's the only devatas do not have or accept Tulsi in his offerings, but everyone else. The story has read about Durga, remember? And she has blessed with a gift that when she fell in love with Ganapati, what happened? That she will be placed at the feet, will be present there. Also in his prasada, the absence of Tulsi, you will place with a bunch of Durga graphs. When I do puja, people who heard that katha, they make a nice bunch of Durga graphs and tie it, and they put it next to Ganapati, like a broomstick. You know, they do like this, not in the modern home. You know, they want to people it. And I admire with my friends, and they did not went to this Satsangh, you know. They were in New York looking at the program, the live wherever broadcast, and they learned from it, my friends. That's how Gyaan Satsangh, that's why we are still alive. Because the encouragement of people practicing what have been preached. Not every day, but little by little. It says, now in his prasadam, in his bowl, Nandi followed instruction, and he offered something extra, which is the Durga grass as well. Respect and honor to all deities will bring blessings and protection. Every deity will bless you and protect you, but they will bless you with different things, my friends. When Lord Shiva drowned the poison during the beginning of creation or turning of the sea, some poison had spilled from his mouth. Do you know the katha or not? I read it as well, I can't remember which one here, for Gyaan Satsangh. And many people heard the katha to save Bhagwan Shiva, someone helped him. In that katha I mentioned, who helped him? Says his wife, Parvati, kept that poison at his throat, not for him to digest it. But listen tonight, how the katha takes us into a different dimension. It says at that time, by consuming the poison, some fell out of his mouth. How much people drink water and the whole body become wet from top to bottom? Have you ever not? Don't lie. When a minibus is going, especially in Flatbush like this, and you thirsty and try to drink the water, what will hit you in what will happen? You have a second wave to go to the Mandir, right? It says, at that time of consuming the poison, my friends, it says that some fell from Bhagwan Shankar's mouth, and Nandi drank that poison to save the Lord as well. Nobody probably heard that. It says, everyone was surprised with Nandi's strength now because he blessed with a Vardhana that he will never die. Here's where people know, by Nandi consuming that poison that fell onto Bhagwan Shiva, nothing happens to Nandi. Everybody, it's just like me and you when we live. Certain experience, certain things, people now know that to bless with certain divine Shakti, and then they pay more respect towards you and so it says now, drinking the poison, they know they were surprised at his strength. Lord Shiva's throat become blue by drinking the poison, and he was called, anybody remember? The Katha tells us, Nilakanta Mahadeva Dhanayo, Nilakanta Mahadeva
Jai
Says now this story amplifies the selflessness and devotion of Nandi towards one Shiva. One can overcome any difficulties or difficult challenge with the help of faith and devotion. It says when you do puja, you must have shraddha, which means faith. And when we do puja, it says in our offerings we must offer our love and devotion. It says by that, my friends, in his offerings, he become what? A little more greater or powerful. So, leaving your religion will not overcome your difficulty or difficult challenge. Always remember that. Leaving your religion will not take you out of your trouble. My friends, it says, look into what you're doing. Pray a little more, not less. Pay a little more attention to God, and definitely your prayer will be answered. Nandi also plays a significant role in the cosmic dance of creation. Talking about the cosmic dance of creation, there is a specific form or avatar. Who is that? Lord of dance. What is the name? Nataraj. It says Lord Nandi played a great role in the cosmic dance of creation. It says in that dance, Bhagwan can create, and in that dance, he can destroy. Provide the music to Lord Shiva. It says that is how he contributes. Nandi will provide music to Lord Shiva. How many people help the Pandit when he read Katha in singing and Katha? When you hear music of Lord Shiva, what comes to your mind? When there's a special kind of music of Lord Shiva, which no matter what you're doing or which part of the world your mind is or are up, will caught your attention. A special instrument. What is that instrument, my friends? The Katha tells us. It says, in every dance you perform will be the instrument are the song of the Dhamma. Nandi represent qualities such as purity, justice, faith, courage, honor, wisdom. I'm talking about wisdom, my friends. How much people go to Katha or Satsangh or Mandir and they become wiser? I will not ask you that question. I'm asking you somebody else. How many people you know go to Satsangh, go and listen to Katha, and instead of become wiser or more intelligent, they become something else? Do you know many or not? You know the reason why? It's because when they were in Satsangh Vivekananda, while they were in Satsangh, they weren't paying attention to the Katha. You know, there are many places, I'm not saying when I'm reading, but I observed many places when I went to visit, when other Pandits are officiating. It's a shame that people are on their cell phone texting, even though they don't have anybody to text, like in Gyaan, you don't have signal everywhere. They just open the camera, they look at the face, how they look, they set up their hair, you know, they are bored. Their mind is not there. Do you believe such individual will change their life? It is useless. You and I put Gyaan Satsangh, put all the effort to come to do something like this. I'm not saying you're not listening. Every one of you tonight, give yourself a big round of applause, listening attentively. And I know you will become a changed person. But you all went just like me to many jandi. While you're Pandit, they have their own Katha. So you're hearing two Katha at the same time, one in the left ears and one on the right ears. So the Pandit sits far down and the one that sits closer down is in your ears. Right? My friends, coming to Satsangh, the objectives and the goals is to become smarter, intelligent, because none portray the character of purity, which anybody instructed to do puja, they tell you to fast. Fasting leads the devotee to purity. It says now, when doing puja, if there is no justice of peace, not JPL, they want to graduate now, a certificate, you stamp the document. It says, while doing puja, or set up and get things ready for puja, if there is no peace, we are moving in the wrong direction. It says, while doing puja now, this is how you do your jandi, or when you're in satsang, these are the qualities non-devotary for us to understand, to attain one's blessings. It says the third is faith. When you pray, you must pray with conviction. Have shraddha. Not everybody who walk in, you want to say you send invitation to 100 people and 10 show up. Don't worry about it. We'll share it with the animal. They will be blessed because that is bhojan. Maybe by eating the bhojan, that animal in the next birth can born as a human being like me and you. As like one of the Pandit mentioned, that every one of us went through every living entity. How many millions? I can't call the number. I'm a poor person. How many millions? Species? Here, Pandit do it well, 8.4. It says, my friends, so many species. By now, if the dog has to go through a couple million more, by giving them who's supposed to come to the satsang, the bhojan, you make that dog get into a human body right away. Isn't that successful yajna? Is not how much people come, is the quality of that person who present. Tonight we were blessed. Tonight we portray that character and quality. And I know those people who sponsor should not be disappointed because we will utilize the bhojan, the prasada, and make good use of it. Don't worry, nothing will spoil. It says that is considered as Shraddha faith. And Shraddha faith comes with courage. Your Pandit should encourage you, hold your hands. Many people say, Pandit, there's some Pandit that's really walk while they're coming. I don't know how true this is. I live Gyaan 20 something years now. And I don't know Gyaan story too well. I don't listen to people's story. But it's said that, they're doing the puja while they're coming in the car, riding the bicycle, and they go to bike. And when you reach there, they're just Om Bhurva Swaha, and deeply kiss up and hit the bell, how quick the puja done. It says, now, if your Pandit would not be there to encourage you to place your offerings, and every time you place it, but how many people do the journey never touch like this? How many people do that? Pandit did I get a chance one time, I go to Bahamas, a Pandit said something, put in an again. People always tell me these things, I cannot help you, my friends, but I do it in this way now to tell you, when you do your puja, if you don't stretch your hand, you will have to wait. I share wisdom now. Take your time, the more they put it in your hand, take your time to put this flower. Is there any flower here? There's none in front of me. Imagine, there's a flower in your hand. Purposely put it like this, and then look back at the flower, put it like this, and then say, okay, yes, now, take your best thing, and then do like this. You think he will push it in your hand? You are the one who has made the Pandit brush your puja. Now you know what happened now. I speak the truth. I don't care who made me. They will have to book less puja on a day, and that will make we have more Pandits. You're yelling at the kids, become a Pandit. When the Muslim house and says, Swaha, Swaha, they know mantra, you don't give them an opportunity to do Havan. It starts from our Mandir. It says, no, your Pandit will encourage you. And then that is how you will get honor and wisdom from Bhagwan. So talking about wisdom, you and I live in this day and age of Kali. And many times you can utilize knowledge to make difficult things become sensible in this day and age. There are a lot of requirements everywhere we go. And look at this. Once a man walked into a bank, and this is the New York City Bank. I didn't bring anything for you all this time of Mandir. I bring a story for you all. And while walking in, he went with the intention to apply for $5,000, which he decided to go on a 2-week vacation. I did 5,000 every 2 weeks. I come to Gyaan and spend 20,000 and I didn't buy anything. Well, I have some news for you who would do that. The Americans will come to Gyaan and throw your money like crazy. Take it and go on a vacation that you will enjoy. He had the intention 5,000 we need only to go on a 2-week vacation. My friends, the loan officer at the bank said, if I should lend you that amount of money, you have to have some sort of security that to show you will really pay me back this money. Like when you go for a loan, you have to show you own some house and land and things like that. And if you cannot pay the loan, the bank take away your property. So now we have to prove certain material things. The man had his keys, which is that car with that symbol that the young boys are hanging on their neck. It's a that key. Value a lot of money. He put the key in the bank lender hand and he says, here, is my security. My car parked outside in your parking lot. So he peeped out of the window, he saw the car brand new shine, value more than 5,000 US. So right away, my friends, it says he was qualified for the loan, he was approved. While that man was walking out of the bank, everyone looked at him, and as soon as he stepped out, everybody's laughing at him. Have you heard so many people laugh at you in certain things? There's those who laugh at you. Yes. So my friends, everyone is laughing at him. Why? It says now 2 weeks later, that man returned. The pay the bank is $5,000 with interest. One don't lend money just like that with interest. The total interest for 2 weeks for $5,000 was $16.93. So the loan officer says, "Thank you for your business." And now he was curious and he asked, "Why did you borrow $5,000 since you are driving such an expensive car?" The man says, "Where in New York City I can park my expensive car for only $16.93. Do you think we really need a loan? No, my friends. He just took it because if he would have taken that car somewhere else, he'll have to pay a huge amount of money. So you see how you can be slick, how you can put knowledge to live life. That people say time gets hard. With wisdom, you can make living simple. Coming to Satsangh, listen to Katha, adapt it, put it into practice, you'll become wiser. And how you become wiser? By listening. When you listen, you will learn. Clever people can solve problems in unexpected ways. And that is the moral of the story. Lovely devotees, as you're going back home, it's an honor and privilege to be here in this Mandir. I think I will have to check count now. 2022, 3, 4 in January, 3 times in May, that is 6 times. This is 7 times. Give the devotees a big round of applause. To plan, put satsang, every time they have been given the opportunity, they never say no, they make it possible. Although this Mandir is not rich, they find a way to make sure they put a satsang. For you and I, not for me to have an opportunity to come and read and look nice, for all of us, because it forced me to research, prepare a katha which I am learning from. And as well, by you listening, you are learning as well. Give them another big round of applause. There are not many of them, but a few, the hands that join together. I ask for the Adi Shakti, the Divine Mother, to bless those hands, that they will continue to uphold this Mandir and uphold their Dharma. Without any hesitation, I will call upon the executive member of this Mandir to come forward, as I would like to present them for the first time. It takes me 7 times to come to give them something. Certificate of appreciation to have us here in Mandir on our 4th annual Gyaan Satsangh. And this is our 8th night. Can someone please come as I give this to you? Mataji Babsi, Natasha, or Chandra. I don't know who, President, Treasurer, or whatever. Someone for the Mandir, representing Mandir, please come forward and collect this. While she's walking up, this lady, since I know her, you may know she's at many wake house. She is a seamstress, and many wake house will have it. She always finds the time to go and sing God's name. And I don't think, when my time, I know she wasn't charging a fee, but I'm not sure now if she do. But I will have a conversation if she do after I present this. Give her and then a big round of applause. Thank you. Once again, you may have a seat. Lovely devotees, that brings us to the end of tonight's Katha. And as you're going back home, my friends, Bhagwan Shankar has changed form as Neelakan. There are many forms of Bhagwan Shankar. And here's one of them, which he had a crescent moon on his jata, or something that says forehead. It says every form. He has called many names. Tonight, whatever name you call Bhagwan Shiva, call him with conviction, call him with love, faith, purity, the character of Nandi. By following Nandi's footsteps, we will get closer to God. So now tonight, my friends, Nandi has known to us as a cow. If we can learn from a cow, why can't we learn from each other? It is now for you to go back home and think about it. Let us all sing as we conclude tonight's Katha. Chandrasekharaya Namo, Gangadharaya Namo. Chandrasekharaya Ganga